All right, so I need to parse some JSON into my database here. This is JSON that I've received from our QuickBooks API using the FMQBO product that we have, but it really doesn't matter. It would work for any JSON that you've gotten from any API or any source. This same technique will work to help you do that. So first thing I need to know is the structure of the JSON, and I've got that here. This is it up on QuickBooks or Intuit's help. And I'm going to be working with the payment method object here. So I'm copying that to my clipboard, and then I can close that. I'll come back and we'll bring up the generator file here. Generator, here it is. And I'm going to make a new JSON field map. So what that's done is it's pulled in that sample data and parsed it out so that we can see kind of what was in there, and it gives us kind of a map that we can use. So what I need to do is choose from my open tables. I'm going to be using this guy here, and I'm going to be using, wait a minute, why is this not coming up here? There we go. Okay, so we got all of the tables that are in that FMQBO2 file, which is what I'm working with, and I'm going to choose the QBO Sync Payments table. We got that, and so there is that, and now what I can do is I can choose from this drop down. I can choose from the fields that are in that table. Now this doesn't have an active field, so I'm going to go ahead and add that field first, and then now when I come back and do it, I have the active field, so I can use that. So now it's mapping that. It's kind of wrapping there. You can't mapping. It's wrapping a little bit there, but you get the idea. We don't need domain. We do need the QBO ID, so let's map that to that. We do need the name, so let's map that to that. We don't need sparse. We do need type, so let's. I don't think we have a type, so let's go ahead and add a type. Actually, you know what? We're going to leave that. I don't think we're going to get type. We're just going to get the ones we have here, just these three. So I'm going to uncheck ignore, which is what this tells me will happen. And now I can generate some code. So back in my script, in this script here, we're going to be building, actually this is to actually send the JSON up to QuickBooks API. We're going to be building the JSON from the fields, and so that's the first one we're going to need. So I'm going to come here to the code generator, and we're going to get the get field script steps. So this is going to pull in just the script steps I need to build from our map what we got here. So we just paste that in, and there we go. So this is going to build from our fields in the table in the database that we have. It's going to first pull it into variables, and then it's going to create a field map here that builds the JSON from those variables. So that is all we need to build the JSON from our fields into a JSON structure. And we can do the opposite, of course, for the get version. We just go back to our generator. Once we have our map, we can get the other one. So this one will parse our JSON into the fields. And so we just come back here and paste, and there we go. We got our first thing it does is it parses out the properties from that JSON string into variables. And then down here it sets it into the field. So my scripts have to, they have to, of course, set the right context and find the right record and stuff. Of course, has to do that. There's lots of different ways to do that. But when this is just a few properties, this is pretty easy. But if you can imagine a very complex JSON object with dozens of properties, being able to generate these scripts is really, really nice because they're kind of error prone and easy to screw up. So that's a quick look at using Generator to parse and build JSON into your solution.